Maddie, and today I'm finding out about some very big things and how we use them. Let's go see what we can find. I wonder how we might get up that very big hill. Can you think of any ways we might get up high?
We might walk up the stairs. We might use a lift, or even a helicopter.
Do you know what they are? That's right, they are cable cars. But do you know how a cable car works? Let's find out.
How does it work?
Cable car.
To find out how a cable car works, I've come to a cable car station. Can you see all the cables? The cable cars travel 550 metres along the cables to the top. That's the same as 30 bowling lanes laid out in a long line. I've got special permission to go inside and see how all this works. This is the main control room. Here they control the cable cars as they travel along the cables.
It's Adam the controller's job to make sure the cable cars are working safely. He can start and stop them using his controls, and he can control how fast they go.
This screen and the little red dots let Adam know where the cable cars are along the cable, and this here is a wind monitor. It's important to check how windy it is. We call this the wind speed. Adam needs to make sure the wind isn't too strong or the cable cars might sway from side to side. Today, the wind speed is 4 metres per second, and that means it's safe to travel. Cable cars don't have engines inside them to make them move like a car on the road does. So how do they work? Well, there are lots of different parts that all work together to make a cable car move. This big blue machine is a motor. The motor is powered by electricity, and it works like an engine to send power to the belts. These are drive belts, and they're like giant elastic bags. But the drive belts are turning a part inside that yellow machine, and that is the gearbox. And the gearbox turns this huge wheel. It's called the bull wheel. It's enormous. The yellow cylinders up there are part of something called the hydraulic system. And the hydraulic system keeps the cable tight as it moves around. But to find out how all these parts work together to make a cable car move along, I think we need to take a closer look.
When the controller switches on the motor, electricity powers the drive belts. The belts then turn the cogs in the gearbox. There are different cogs inside the gearbox, and when the biggest ones turn, the power increases. This then turns the giant bull wheel. So the cable, which is looped around the bull wheel, moves too. The cable cars are attached to the cable with clamps called hanger grips. The hydraulic system has fluid inside, which moves the bull wheel and platform forwards and backwards to keep the cable at the right tension. The cable cars stay in the same place on the cable, so they are always the same distance apart. When passengers get on, the cable car moves around under tension, carrying the cable cars and the passengers from the bottom to the top and back down again.
Wow, that was so interesting, wasn't it? Look at that big tower. As the cable cars come along, they pass over that tower.
There are 6 towers from the top to the bottom. The towers at the very top and bottom of the hill are called compression towers. They help keep the tension and the cable tight.
And the 4 towers in the middle support the cable. I've got special permission to stand here at the base of the tower so we can get a closer look. To find out how a cable car passes over a tower, Adam is going to take some of my special cameras right to the very top. He's got one on his safety helmet and another on a long pole so we can see even more. And I'm going to watch on a screen down here. Right, we are all set. Adam, ready to go? Wow, it is so high up. Adam, Adam has reached the top. Look, can you see those wheels? Those are called rollers. Can you see the steel ropes twisted together? Those twists create the tension that keeps the rope stretched out, and that's also what makes it stronger than a single rope. Car's coming along now, and there is the twisted steel rope going over the rollers.
Can you hear the sound the cable cars make as they move across the towers?
How brilliant is that? Adam is on his way back down. I think it's about time we had a go, don't you? Come on!
I've put one of my special cameras inside the cable car, so you can come along for the ride.
The doors are shutting, and here we go. Oh, actually, here is the first compression tower. The rollers are moving the cable up there as we pass over it. Oh, it is beautiful up here. We can see for miles around. Wow. And just like that, we are here at the station at the top of the hill. Cable car slowing down. This cable car will now carry on and go back down to the bottom of the hill, where it will pick up some more customers and come all the way back up to the top. It's just like one giant loop. I loved finding out how a cable car works. What was your favourite part?
Was it seeing the big bull wheel moving the cable around? And do you remember the sound the cable car made as it moved over the rollers on the tower?
Can you see all the big boats in the harbour with their masts that reach up to the sky? And look over there at that big building. It's a really unusual shape, isn't it? What do you think it looks like? I think it looks like something on a boat. Do you know what it is? That's right, I think it looks a bit like a sail with the mast holding it up. This is a viewing tower, which means we can go to the top and see the view. I wonder how a big viewing tower like this one is built. Let's find out.
How is it made?
Viewing tower.
Look how big the viewing tower is. It's 170 metres tall.
That's just a bit taller than 2 redwood trees, the tallest trees in the world, placed on top of each other.
You must never play or go near water without a grown-up, but I've got special permission to be here so I can show you the tower. Can you see the tower is built on a special platform that sits just above the sea? And if you look just over there, can you see those concrete columns that are poking up out of the water? Those concrete columns and the special platform are called the foundations. But how do we build concrete columns in the sea? Let me show you how it works. I'm going to make a model. I've got a clear box here, and inside I've put some sand. The sand is going to be the rock and the sand we'd find at the bottom of the sea. Now I'm going to put in some water, and the water is going to be the sea. In it goes.
Concrete is a material that starts as a runny mixture and sets hard.
To build the concrete columns that the viewing tower will sit on, we need something to pour the runny concrete into. Now, when this tower was built, they used huge metal tubes called castings. So, I think these clear tubes will do quite well. Ahoy! I'm going to push these castings, the tubes, deep into the sand so they go to the very bottom, underground below the sea. Now the castings are in place, the runny concrete can be poured into the castings, then it will set and go hard, and we'll have our concrete columns that are called piles.
A special platform was put on top of the piles for the rest of the tower to be built above ground. Huge legs that go almost all the way to the top of the tower were built on top of the platform, and then the bows were attached that look like giant sails.
The bows are hollow, a little bit like kitchen roll tube, like this. Hello, I can see you. They're made of a really strong metal called steel, but being hollow means that they're more lightweight, so they're easier to build with.
I've been given special permission to go inside the giant bows to see how they're put together.
This is Bernie, and Bernie looks after the viewing tower. I've put one of my special cameras on my helmet so you can see inside the giant hollow bows too.
Once I'm safely harnessed in, I have to climb a ladder at the top of one of the concrete legs to reach the bows that look like sails.
Wow, I am inside one of the bows. Look, can you see all of the bolts along the edges? That's where the pieces of steel of the bow have been bolted together. Wow. Wow, that was brilliant.
Whoa! Now we're at the viewing platform, and up here we are 100 metres high. The view from the windows is just brilliant. Wow! But the view I want to show you isn't out of these windows. It's the view underneath my feet. Whoa. This is a glass floor where we can see all the way down to the floor 100 metres down there.
You would never normally step or walk on glass, but this viewing floor is made with extra strong glass, so it's safe to stand on.
Let's go see how it was built further up. This is the top viewing platform, and it's 110 metres high. Can you hear that sound? There it is. That is the sound of the wind whistling past. Because the viewing tower is so tall, it has a special way to keep it safe in the wind. Do you remember that the tower's foundations are built deep into the ground? Those foundations keep the tower safe and upright, but the bows have been built to move with the wind rather than fight against it. And on a really windy day, you can even feel the tower swaying. How clever is that? It's been so much fun seeing how the viewing tower was built. What was your favourite part?
Was it learning how it was built on top of the sea? And do you remember the sound of the wind as it whistled past the viewing tower?
Can you hear that sound? It's been so much fun finding out about some very big builds and how we use them. I loved going in a cable car, finding out how it works and travelling all the way to the top of the hill. And it was so interesting learning how a viewing tower is built. I'll see you next time.
There are lots of things